Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You are Big Meech, the giant. Welcome home. For years, the tension between Curtis, 50 Cent, Jackson and William, Rick Ross, Roberts simmered quietly in the background of the hip-hop world. It was the usual story: lyrical jabs, public disses, the standard rap rivalry fueled by ego and marketing strategies. But what started as a predictable feud soon evolved into something much darker, far more dangerous and real. This wasn't just about diss tracks or petty industry games anymore. It became a full-scale conflict, spilling out of the studio and onto the streets, threatening reputations and igniting a firestorm that could consume everything in its path. At the heart of this explosive escalation lies the controversial saga of the Black Mafia family, BMF. But what was the catalyst? What single event transformed a simmering beef into an all-out war with real-world consequences? This story is about fractured loyalties, a homecoming celebration gone wrong, and accusations powerful enough to redefine legacies forever. February 13th, the Big Meech Home Benefit Concert. This event was supposed to be iconic, an unforgettable night to mark the release of Demetrius Big Meech Flannery from federal prison after decades behind bars. The concert was hyped as monumental, with a star-studded lineup that included Lil Baby, Moneybagg Yo, 21 Savage, and, of course, Rick Ross himself. But this wasn't just a concert, it was a cultural earthquake. Big Meech was more than just a man. He was a symbol of an era, the mythical figurehead of the Black Mafia family. His release wasn't just a legal event, it was a seismic moment for the culture. And stepping boldly into this charged atmosphere was Rick Ross, not as a bystander, but as a central figure orchestrating the grand spectacle, celebrating Meech's newfound freedom on an epic scale. But why did Ross take center stage? Was this a genuine gesture of solidarity, or was it a calculated power play aimed directly at 50 Cent? The battle for BMF's legacy. Curtis Jackson had invested heavily in the BMF narrative. His hit TV series, BMF, had become a cornerstone of his media empire, telling the gripping story of Big Meech and the organization's rise and fall. This was more than business for Jackson, it was personal. It was his creative vision and financial investment brought to life on screen. When Ross stepped in to publicly celebrate Meech's release, and even hinted at ambitions for his own BMF cinematic project, it wasn't seen as mere competition. Many viewed it as a direct challenge to Jackson's territory, an audacious move to seize control of a narrative Jackson had painstakingly built. 50 Cent's furious response. Jackson didn't respond with subtle jabs or cryptic social media posts. His reaction was volcanic, an eruption of raw, unfiltered rage. But it wasn't just aimed at Ross. It targeted Big Meech himself, the very figure Ross was trying to elevate. Jackson's weapon of choice? Accusations of snitching, a claim that carries a heavy stigma in street culture. He didn't hint at it or veil it in metaphors. He went all in, publicly branding Meech as an informant who allegedly cooperated with law enforcement to secure an early release from prison. Social media became Jackson's battlefield. He flooded every platform with a relentless barrage of rat emojis, accusatory memes, and aggressive statements, leaving no room for ambiguity. Adding another layer of cruelty, Jackson twisted Ross's own anthem, BMF, Blowin' Money Fast, into a mocking soundtrack for his accusations. The roots of Jackson's fury. Why such an extreme, visceral reaction? The answer runs deeper than industry rivalry. Jackson had poured not just money, but emotional and creative energy into his BMF series. It was a passion project, one that also served as a launchpad for Demetrius Lil Meech Flannery Jr., Big Meech's son, who starred in the show. From Jackson's perspective, Meech's public alignment with Rick Ross wasn't just business, it felt like betrayal. After investing so much in telling the BMF story and supporting Meech's family, the perceived shift of loyalty hit Jackson on a deeply personal level. What's next? A battle beyond music. This feud has spiraled far beyond music and entertainment. It's no longer about chart-topping hits or industry clout. It's about legacy, loyalty, and betrayal. Both 50 Cent and Rick Ross are playing a high-stakes game where reputations are on the line, and every move could ignite a new firestorm. As the dust settles, one question remains. Who will control the narrative of the BMF legacy? And in this war of words, power plays, and public accusations, who will come out on top? One thing is clear, this battle is far from over. The hip-hop world watches, waiting for the next move in a saga that's as much about power and influence as it is about music. The clash of differing artistic visions was more than just a creative disagreement. It felt like a profound betrayal. For 50 Cent, a man who believed he was pivotal in shaping and promoting the BMF legacy in the public eye, it was a blatant disregard for loyalty. His frustration ran deep, feeling as if his partnership had been deliberately undermined. As whispers turned into public speculation, fueled by 50 Cent's passionate claims, the controversy spread like wildfire. What began as isolated chatter soon captured broader attention, raising questions far beyond his immediate circle. The focal point of this growing skepticism? The unexpected and significantly reduced prison sentence of Demetrius "Big Meech" Flenory. How did Meech secure such a seemingly miraculous early release? Was there a secret deal struck behind closed doors? Could it be that federal authorities brokered a clandestine agreement to facilitate his freedom? The questions became louder and harder to ignore, especially with 50 Cent's relentless public accusations amplifying every suspicion. In the midst of this rising storm, a new figure emerged, adding fuel to the already blazing fire: Tammy Cowens. Initially just a background name, Cowens quickly became a central figure in the unfolding drama. Officially, she was known as a longtime business associate of Meech, with ties to the BMF organization. But in street circles, her name carried a far darker connotation. Rumors painted Cowens as a federal informant, a label heavy with distrust and potential danger within street culture. This speculation quickly solidified into a more damning narrative. Was Cowens the linchpin behind Meech's reduced sentence? Allegations suggested she orchestrated a secret deal with federal prosecutors, facilitating his freedom, but at what cost? As whispers turned into accusations, Cowens became a shadowy figure of manipulation, allegedly pulling strings behind the scenes and brokering secret deals that benefited Meech. But if these rumors held any truth, what was the price of this freedom? The narrative darkened further with the tragic introduction of Dion "Cuffy" Gatling. Cuffy wasn't just another associate, he was a close confidant and longtime business partner of Meech, with a deep bond forged long before the rise of BMF. His daughter, Tamara Gatling, would later emerge as a powerful voice, determined to defend her father's name and reveal a devastating story of betrayal. Tamara claimed, with unwavering conviction, that her father's downfall wasn't random. Allegedly, it was Meech himself, working in calculated collaboration with Tammy Cowens, who orchestrated Cuffy's arrest. According to Tamara, it was a cold, calculated betrayal made to secure Meech's own freedom at the expense of a loyal friend and partner. Her accusations were chilling. She asserted that her family had uncovered compelling evidence, documents, testimonies, and circumstantial details, suggesting that Meech had cooperated with federal authorities, playing a direct role in Cuffy's downfall. One particularly cruel twist in Tamara's account was the claim that Meech personally introduced Cuffy to Tammy Cowens under the guise of a potential film project. What seemed like a legitimate business opportunity was allegedly a trap, an elaborate setup designed to lead to Cuffy's arrest and imprisonment. If true, this narrative paints a haunting picture of betrayal, where loyalty was sacrificed for personal gain, and deep-rooted friendships were shattered in the name of self-preservation. As the controversy spiraled, attention turned toward the upcoming Big Meech benefit concert, scheduled for February 13th. The event, intended as a celebratory homecoming, was now overshadowed by swirling accusations and dark rumors. The star-studded lineup, featuring names like Lil Baby, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, and Rick Ross, was meant to be iconic. But instead of celebrating Meech's release, the concert risked becoming a symbol of controversy and suspicion. Amidst all this chaos, 50 Cent's voice remained one of the loudest, pushing the narrative forward and fueling public speculation. The accusations against Meech and Cowens, coupled with Tamara Gatling's revelations, left the public with more questions than answers. Could Meech's early release have come at the cost of betrayal? Was a secret deal struck in the shadows? And if so, what does that mean for the BMF legacy? A legacy built on loyalty, respect, and an unbreakable code? As these questions linger, the story remains far from over. The truth, hidden beneath layers of speculation and secrecy, continues to haunt the public imagination, casting a shadow over everything that once seemed solid and untouchable. The BMF saga, a story once defined by loyalty and brotherhood, now teeters on the edge of a darker, more unsettling legacy. And as the drama continues to unfold, the world watches, waiting for the truth to finally emerge. In the world of hip-hop, drama and rivalry often unfold like epic sagas, filled with betrayal, loyalty shifts, and high-stakes power plays. The latest chapter centers around Rick Ross and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, whose bitter feud has escalated to new and unprecedented heights. The Battleground? A highly anticipated event that was set to mark a cultural milestone, Rick Ross's grand Welcome Home concert for Big Meech. The concert wasn't just another performance. It was billed as a monumental celebration of Big Meech's release, with Miami chosen as the ultimate backdrop for this iconic spectacle. The hype was real, and the stakes were high. Ross meticulously curated a star-studded lineup featuring some of the biggest names in hip-hop, including chart toppers like Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo. The anticipation was electric, with tickets selling out in record time. Miami braced itself for what was expected to be a defining moment in modern hip-hop history. But just as excitement hit fever pitch, everything came to a crashing halt. Without warning, the relentless promotion stopped. Social media buzz went silent overnight, leaving fans puzzled and insiders speculating. Then came the unexpected and shocking announcement. The concert was officially canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. To the casual observer, the vague explanation might have seemed plausible. But those deeply entrenched in the hip-hop industry knew better. This wasn't just a scheduling issue or technical hiccup. It was something far more complex, tied directly to the intensifying feud between Rick Ross and 50 Cent. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, always known for his sharp instincts and relentless opportunism, wasted no time capitalizing on Ross's misfortune. His response was swift, sarcastic, and cutting. With his signature blend of mockery and confidence, 50 Cent took to social media. "I had nothing to do with this," he posted with heavy irony, adding, "Please stop calling my phone. I sincerely hope you have a nice day today. Happy Valentine's Day." The sarcasm dripped from every word, turning what could have been a neutral message into a clear jab. The insinuation was undeniable. 50 Cent, a master of media manipulation, used the cancellation as ammunition to fuel his ongoing narrative of dominance over Ross. The cancellation wasn't just a logistical issue, it was a public humiliation, and 50 Cent reveled in every moment of it. But the drama didn't end there. Things took a personal turn when a private text message allegedly from Demetrius Lil Meech Flannery Jr., Big Meech's own son and star of the BMF series, a show produced by 50 Cent, suddenly surfaced online. The leaked message sent shockwaves through social media, exposing a web of conflicted loyalties. Lil Meech Jr. found himself trapped between two powerful figures: his biological father, whose legacy the concert was meant to honor, and 50 Cent, the man who had given him his breakthrough acting role. In the message, Lil Meech appeared to be walking a delicate tightrope. He expressed gratitude and loyalty to 50 Cent, acknowledging the significant role Jackson had played in launching his career. At the same time, he seemed to defend Rick Ross's financial support of Big Meech during his return to civilian life. It was an impossible balancing act, one that, rather than bringing understanding, only fueled 50 Cent's fury. For Jackson, loyalty is non-negotiable. The leaked message, rather than softening his stance, reinforced his belief that betrayal lurked everywhere. To 50 Cent, even an attempt at neutrality was seen as disloyalty. The fallout was immediate and brutal. The cancellation of Ross's concert now took on a much deeper meaning. It wasn't just a show being postponed, it was a public casualty of an escalating, deeply personal war. This wasn't just business anymore. It had become an all-out battle of egos, power, and pride. 50 Cent's history of ruthless retribution in the industry is well documented. There's no middle ground in his world, no room for perceived betrayal. A stark reminder of this came when young Buck, once a close ally of Jackson, briefly showed support for Big Meech. Even this mild display of neutrality resulted in Buck becoming the target of Jackson's relentless online attacks. This feud transcends the usual industry beefs. For Jackson, the issue is personal, tied to his long-standing association with the BMF legacy and his belief in loyalty from those within his circle. In his eyes, Rick Ross wasn't just supporting Big Meech, he was encroaching on something deeply personal, an attempt to hijack a legacy that 50 Cent had worked hard to honor and promote through his BMF series. Jackson's response has been swift and unforgiving, launching a full-on campaign of public and private retribution. His aim? To make it clear that crossing him comes with lasting consequences. Every post, every comment, every jab reinforces the message that there's no coming back from betrayal in his world. But what's driving Rick Ross? Is this just another calculated power move to challenge Jackson's influence in the hip-hop industry? Or is it a genuine show of support for Big Meech, someone Ross has respected for years? Some believe Ross is strategically positioning himself to dismantle Jackson's media empire, using his support of Big Meech as a tool to undermine 50 Cent's influence. Others suggest that Ross's actions are motivated purely by loyalty to Big Meech, with no intention of provoking Jackson directly. On the flip side, there's also the possibility that 50 Cent is simply using this feud to fuel his own narrative, crafting controversy to stay in the spotlight, dominate headlines, and reinforce his image as the ultimate power player in hip-hop. Regardless of the true motivations, one thing is crystal clear. This rivalry has been reignited with a ferocity unlike anything we've seen before. It's no longer about music, concerts, or social media jabs. This is a battle of legacies, loyalty, and power. The industry is now on edge, watching and waiting for what comes next. Will Rick Ross retaliate with a bold move of his own? Or will 50 Cent's relentless pressure force Ross into retreat? One thing is certain, this isn't over. Not by a long shot. Stay tuned as this explosive saga continues to unfold, promising more twists, turns, and headline-grabbing moments in the ongoing battle between Rick Ross and 50 Cent, a clash that's becoming one of the most intense rivalries in modern hip-hop history.